spies, you would think, should be a little bit inconspicuous. You see anything unusual? Yeah. I saw the biggest man I've ever seen. Ambassador, nice to see you. I hope you enjoy the crab cakes. But in every Arnold movie, he says something along the lines of, Jamie, jump and I will catch you.
Just literally any Arnold movie. Predator, I will catch you, Predator.
Predator, jump down.
Come on. Welcome back, movie listers. It's John. I'm a filmmaker.
This is Matt. I'm a doctor. John has curated a list of 100 movies for me to watch before I die. Today, we're going over True Lies.
I know I say it every week. It's just alarming that you've made it this far. I mean, this to me, this is like quintessential Arnold. How have you not seen this?
It was rated R and I was 13.
That didn't stop me. That didn't stop me as a 7-year-old, in fact. So
I guess this is what? This is 94, right?
1994. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I said 13. I was 4. That's why I didn't catch this one in theaters.
Still didn't stop me. Still did not. I mean, we didn't see it in theaters, but this was one that we absolutely had on VHS, home video, and man, we went through this one as a family.
Right.
So
fair enough.
Judge me all you want, guys. Judge my parents all you want. It got me here to this point. And honestly, formatively, I think it was a net positive as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm 35 and just now seeing it for the first time.
Right.
And I think it would have been a great benefit to me to see it sooner.
Who failed who? Who failed who here? So True Lies is on the list because it's peak Arnold as far as I'm concerned. In terms of like where this is in his career. If you look at it and like I like to look at it like basically, I know he did Conan and some of those other ones, but Terminator was really like the start of Arnold's stardom. And so if you're like to build a trajectory up from Terminator and then to Total Recall and a few of those other ones, this one is Terminator 2, I would put it at peak. This one is just after Terminator 2. And so arguably this is like over the curve Arnold and on the way down. But to me, this is one of the best Arnolds in terms of, because he started doing a lot more, I think gearing a lot towards comedy and family. Kindergarten Cop, did really well. So I think he realized maybe he doesn't have to be shooting with a machine gun, saying his one-liners for it to be a commercial success. So this is basically the perfect intersection of big-time action Arnold and then comedic Arnold met right at the crossroads, 1994, just the perfect time in history, the perfect time in Arnold, and the perfect time in James Cameron. I mean, James Cameron, obviously the Avatar, filmmaker, the Titanic filmmaker, none of that would have happened really were it not for this. I'll go into that a little bit later in terms of literally that wouldn't have happened. But James Cameron wrote and directed True Lies. So he doesn't write all this stuff, but he wrote this script, a very, very funny movie. And, it's a masterclass as far as directing action comedy. So, in his career, kind of talking about the trajectory of his with Terminator 1, Aliens, one of your favorites, I know, Abyss.
One of my favorites.
Terminator 2, and then right into True Lies. This was a great time in cinema as far as I'm concerned. One of the most fun times in movie history. So I think it's a blast.
I agree. Kind of watching through this for the first time, things that kind of jumped out to me, like this movie is very much a product of its era. It is like this existed in a time before you needed to have something with a pre-existing IP with its own built-in audience, where you're like you had to have a guaranteed home run before anybody would invest. This is just like people are shooting their shot with whatever kind of crazy, wacky idea they had, and it was working for them. And like, what a sweet time in cinema history, and just saying that as an appreciator of movies. Like, I'm not like you. I didn't make them myself, but I do really like that time where you could just make stuff and it worked. Like, it didn't need to have this fan base of 1,000,000 people who had purchased a book and read the whole
Right.
series before you could
Right.
make something, and that's just really fun. This movie is so intensely watchable.
Mm.
Like, it's just like the way you pitched it in our last episode, this is a popcorn and candy kinda movie. Like,
Yep.
you would go to your movie theater with your buddies and watch this movie, and then 2 days later, go back and watch it again with your other buddies because
Yep.
it's that kinda movie.
Yep.
Like, it's just fun. I've watched it twice already in the
Right.
last week, and I enjoyed it both times.
'Cause what the heck else was there to do in 1994? You know, like
You had to play with your Tamagotchi, I think.
exactly, your Tamagotchi and your
No, that
Nintendo
was
64
a
and
little
maybe
later.
your
That was like
Nintendo
'98, I think.
ES. Yeah, but,
You know,
you know, there wasn't the endless doom scrolling and all that stuff to just suck up your life. There was actually conversation and good times, and there was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and, aren't we
yes,
glad for it? So,
yes.
any Arnie fans out there who isn't, let us know in the comments what your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is. You know, if you're a big Arnold fan, just smash the like button, just smash it and subscribe. There's gonna be a lot of that probably in this. We're not gonna be able to help it.
It's
Just talking through the episode before, we were just so get used
Go
to it.
ahead, subscribe, hit the button, do it now,
Do it now.
hurry.
So, before we just get into like an endless spiral of Arnold, let us tell you what True Lies is all about.
Here's my invitation.
In True Lies, Harry Tasker, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is an elite government spy who's been lying to his wife Helen, Jamie Lee Curtis, by pretending he's just a boring computer salesman.
It's not like he's saving the world or anything.
Helen feels trapped in a dull marriage, so she gets lured into excitement by a smooth-talking fraud, Simon, Bill Paxton, who pretends to be a secret agent and ropes her into a fake mission.
If not for me, do it for your country.
But that little fantasy accidentally puts her in the path of Harry's real work.
Harry, please just let me handle this.
So she gets pulled into Harry's world just as a terrorist operation is unfolding for real. What starts as a marriage lie and a pretend spy game turns into an all-in life or death mission. Harry's story is him learning that the hardest mission isn't stopping terrorists. It's earning back his wife's trust once the truth explodes. All right, peak 90s action. Matt, so glad you finally had a chance to go back and get some True Lies in your life. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Okay. What a ride this one was. Like, if you want to study strong openers, this is a great case study. It starts with Arnold cutting through bars underwater in a wetsuit, and then coming up, cutting through the ice with the shiniest knife that's ever existed. That thing's out of control shiny. And then he, pops out, takes off his wetsuit, full perfect tuxedo, gets some cologne out of a little baggie,
I love that.
and he goes into the party. Like it's and then when he's running away, it's just crazy hijinks, explosions, punching, shooting, uh snowmobiles. It's a riot.
Yeah.
It's the funnest. It's the peak of 90s action movies. Like it doesn't get better than that. That's as good as it gets in 90s movies, and
Yep.
it's dripping with it. And like let's get in a little bit to like just the 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 zaniness of it, the 90s zaniness of it all.
It's so
One of the
good.
things I love is that in this movie, so Arnold is still playing an action hero, which is his sweet spot.
Yep.
But in this particular movie, he is playing a spy. And one thing I really love about that is that spies, you would think, should be a little bit inconspicuous. And I'm just imagining, like, after Arnold goes in and does the tango and says hello to all these different people
Yeah.
and then blows the place up and runs out. When they're doing, like, the police interviews after, and they're like, you see anything unusual, out of the ordinary?" And they're like, yeah, I saw the biggest man I've ever seen. Nobody knew who he was, but he was talking to everyone.
And he was talking to
They're like,
himself
"Okay,
too, because he had the
did
ear thing
he
in.
yeah, did he have any specific characteristics, any kind of particular phrases or way of speaking?" Yeah, you could say that. He had the most unique way of speaking I've ever heard. I can describe him in the most vivid detail, like it just happened. Most muscular man I've ever seen, and he sounds like this. "Hey, Senator, good to see you again." If you were a senator,
was that
you don't
guy?
think you would remember? "Ambassador, nice to see you. I hope you enjoyed the crab cakes." Like, you're gonna remember that man.
Sergeanta, wo hast du mich? Colonel, how are you? It's so good to see you again.
Who is that guy?
You're gonna you're gonna know that he's spoken to you before, because it's the most unique way. Like, he couldn't stand out more. So
Yeah.
so Arnold the Spy, I think, is he, like, when he's in his suit and he's walking into that party, like, he cuts such an imposing figure, he's so
Yeah.
clean cut.
Yeah.
Arnold's a handsome man, and this is him at his peak. Like,
Mm.
it's a beautiful thing to watch Arnold in a tux, walking into a party, freaking built, confident, hair slicked back, cologne on his face, chatting people up. Like,
Speaks
it's a
every
beautiful
language,
thing.
apparently.
Every language. He can
Yeah.
speak Armenian, he can speak Persian, he can speak ancient Persian. He's the man. But, like, it's glorious to watch, and also it's so outlandish. Like, that this guy
Did
would just go incognito in this party of, like, 100 people. Nobody notices this unbelievably jacked guy who's introducing himself to everybody. It's incredible to see.
Did you notice when he went upstairs, he's, like, doing all his spy work, and he goes upstairs, and the guard is there, and he says, "I have to take a major leak."
An Haube ist der Tank.
And it sounds like German, honestly. It's so aggressive. And in parentheses, it says perfect Arabic. And so it has the subtitles of, "I have to make a major leak," and it says perfect Arabic. That was a really funny though.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
And then as Arnold is kind of escaping that first scenario, when they're like, "Can you show me some ID?" Blah blah blah. They aren't Arnold. They're like, "Excuse me, sir. Can you show me some ID? Suck my blood." He's like, "I can't show you in the eye. Oh, actually, it's right here." And detonates the bomb. And then he's running away, and you got all these guys on snowmobiles, and Arnold's like running through the snow, and then they unleash these Dobermans, and he's like, "Oh, gotta get away!" And then the Dobermans jump at him, and he turns around and he clonks the Dobermans' heads together, and they're like,
Stay.
and the scene, they're clearly rubber dogs, and he's running down the hill, and he's like one-shotting everybody, and they're Uziing and machine guns, and he's fine the whole time. He's sliding down this cliff into, and they're like snowmobiles and skis, and it's, I mean, the stunt work on it is obvious, but good. This is like, you don't care. That's the kind of movie it is. You're
It's just like
"That
a
is
black
not
guy
Arnold."
with his wig on. It's like, I think I know that's not him.
Like, you don't care though. That's the
You
kind of
don't
thing.
care.
Like,
Right.
this is not Oscar bait. Like, this is just,
Right.
you're there for the good time. I'm like,
That's
I'm
right.
throwing back popcorn, like, this is peak cinema, and that's not Arnold, and I don't care that it isn't,
Right.
because it's so good, man.
It's true.
I loved it. It's
Yeah.
90s kitsch in the best possible way.
Yep.
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
this was my kind of movie. I loved it.
On the 90s kitsch note, it reminded me of another 90s kitschy movie that we did. Very different, but had some similarities, and that's From Dusk Till Dawn.
Mm.
And I think one of the main reasons is because it completely genre shifts, right? You have a straight up action movie, like you're saying, just like ridiculous snowmobiles, explosions, Dobermans, like all of that stuff, right? And then about a third way through the movie, once his wife gets involved, Jamie Lee Curtis, it becomes a rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
And so like this was a big deal in terms of not only from that big time rom-com not really being a thing, right? In the 90s, even 90s rom-coms were like Sleepless in Seattle, right? And then you had action movies. And Arnold was the king of action movies. And so when you blend those together, this was something new for audiences. It was also something new in general for the film industry. It was the first movie in history with a budget over $100 million. It was a $120 million budget. So nothing had even come close. First ever. This was the biggest budget movie in history. And part of that is because you have James Cameron, right, who is Terminator and Terminator 2 and, Abyss, and the guy doesn't miss. And then you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is the biggest star in the world, coming together again. They get carte blanche. I mean, they get a blank check to literally do whatever they want. And to your point, like you said before, they don't go the safe route. They don't take, this massive book, they take an epic or something like that they know is a guarantee. They go totally creative. And in fact, the story of it's really interesting. The way they came about this story was Arnold saw a French movie called La Totale about a spy having to disclose to his wife that he's actually been a spy all this time, and she gets involved. It's basically like the same movie. La Totale is True Lies, and he loved it so much, and he was like, "Oh yes, Jim Cameron, I have to send this to Jim." Sends it to James Cameron, and James Cameron said to him, "Okay, I understand. I understand why you want to do this, because this movie is about somebody who is a bigger than life action star, explosions, nonstop adrenaline happening, but he's also a husband and he's also a dad. And so how do you marry those two things together in your life?" And that's what True Lies is. I mean, that's how it came about.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I guess the way that you do that is by blackmailing your wife and extorting her to join
Correct.
the United States government.
That's absolutely it. So, I mean, every marriage book in the world has that.
Yeah, right. It's right after, like, get your finances in order and extort your spouse into working for the federal government.
Obviously. This also was an important time in movie history because it was part of that VFX boom, right? That happened probably, I would say, at 91, Jurassic Park 91, 92, when the visual effects, like especially CG visual effects, was really taking off, right? So guys like George Lucas and Spielberg and James Cameron, who are these, visionary directors who like big, are now like, everything's wide open. The dam is broke. Anything you can think of, you can make happen, right? So they take this $2 million French movie and they say, let's make it the biggest movie of all time, literally. And you tell James Cameron, anything you can think of, we can do. So he took a few weeks and wrote the script and obviously just made it very big James Cameron, big Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I mean, he also decided in that time to basically start his own company. So James Cameron found Digital Domain, which was the VFX company that did Titanic. They did Lord of the Rings. They did all the visual effects on Lord of the Rings. They did Armageddon. So, 90s and 2000s visual effects, a lot of it was Digital Domain, and that was James Cameron. And this was his first movie that he used with Digital Domain. And so a lot of I would actually say the only reason that Titanic happened was because he proved he can do it with this movie. And that this movie, that he can handle a massive budget. And that this movie was obviously a huge commercial success, opened at over $100 million opening weekend. I think went on to gross $400 million worldwide. So this was a massive, massive hit all across the world. And obviously, it's so fun to watch.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was proving that he could handle that kind of budget and that he could do the impossible. And I think that one scene to me summarizes that like no other. And that is the 7 Mile Bridge scene. So they're in Florida, it's the bridge that connects Miami to the Keys. And, it's the big climax of the movie. We'll go into it later, but the big climax of the movie. And it's just ultimate awesome action. They're trying to sneak the nukes into Miami. And then somehow Harry, which is Arnold's character, calls in the president and he calls in Harrier jets. Basically, the Marines get involved, brings in Harrier jets, right? So in this scene, you have nukes on the bridge. You have the helicopter. You have the Harrier jets come in, missiles, explosions. And so with, VFX obviously tying in, I have a list of that scene specifically, all the VFX used, right? So the first one is when the Harrier jet's moving in and they shoot the RPG. And the RPG is shooting and the Harrier jet kind of dodges it, right? That's the first one. End of list. That's the only VFX in that entire sequence.
I don't understand.
Everything else
understand.
in that entire scene is in camera, meaning they did it practical effects. From the exploding cars, from the bridge actually blowing
The bridge
up,
collapsing. Yeah,
from
that's
him reaching down to Jamie Lee Curtis, his wife, pulling her out of a limo. None of that was green screen. None of that was done on a stage. The Harrier jets actually flying by the helicopters. 100% of that was in-camera practical effects. Nobody can handle stuff like that other than James Cameron. The dude is a master at practical effects, and this whole movie is a specimen, but that scene specifically is just incredible.
That's insane. If that's the only VFX, I mean, but the Harriers fire on the bridge.
Yeah. So the Harriers fire on the bridge and that is VFX. The explosions on the bridge are practical.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
basically the missiles are
So
VFX,
if there's
the
a
explosions are
projectile-
practical.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
But all of
Okay.
that is, so all of the explosions, all of that, 100% of that is in camera.
That's freaking crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're shooting Harrier jets, and I mean, they were spending, like an insane amount on all of this. And then, so when you try to compile all of that together,
Right.
it's just
okay,
fantastic. It's just
So let me
filmmaking
just run
at
this
its
one.
finest.
Let me run
Yeah.
this specific
Yeah.
example by you.
All right.
All right. So those guys are in the van that's hanging over the edge, right? When the bridge is exploded, there's 3 guys in that van.
Yeah.
They're about to fall off.
Yeah.
There's a pelican that comes and flies and lands in there.
Yep.
And it's just enough weight to tip the van down. That's a real pelican? That's what you're telling me?
No, the pelican was actually, it was a guy in a pelican costume. So it was Andy Serkis, early days of Andy Serkis before he got that's
motion
actually how he
capture.
got the Gollum job. They were who was the pelican?
The pelican is very convincing.
He's a very convincing pelican.
How did you
all
get
of that
small?
All of that
Andy
is real.
Serkis?
The scene with the the truck driving, the RPG shooting out, going out the
Right.
back, the explosion in it. You can actually see the stunt driver in it.
All right.
All of that's real. All
Listen.
of that's in camera.
All I'm trying to say is, seriously, no jokes. Was that a real pelican?
I'm gonna have to call Jim. I have to verify that on Jim, but right now I am gonna go out on a limb and say that was indeed a practical pelican.
That's crazy.
But now with Avatar days, everything.
If you told me, hey, you're going to sit in this car and there's going to be a pelican that's going to sit in there with you, a real pelican,
A real one.
and then guess what? Your van's going to fall off the cliff and you're in it. I'd say,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I won't do that scene for
Well.
2 reasons. Terrified of pelicans. Number 2, terrified of falling off of bridges in a van.
No, that part's not scary. But the pelicans, I understand.
To each his own. You may not be afraid of falling off bridges.
Maybe
I'm
not.
scared of that.
I get
and
it, but
pelicans.
Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't. Jamie Lee Curtis, like the shot of her, him, he's like, come on. Yeah, he's reaching out
Right,
for her
you're right.
arm. And
This is
that's actually Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie, jump and I'll catch
Jamie,
you.
she was like, no, Arnold, we're shooting a scene. He's like, what are you
So-
talking about?
Right. For everybody just tuning in to our podcast, we've been friends a long time. And Arnold movies have been a big part of that, of our
That's true.
background, of the motif of our friendship. And we have this running idea that it may not be word for word, but in every Arnold movie, he says something along the lines of, Jamie, jump and I will catch you. It's in Jingle All the Way.
Jamie, I got you! Jamie!
It's in probably Last Action Hero.
And Last Action Hero, it's Danny. It's
Danny.
Danny.
Okay,
Come on, Danny.
Danny, trust me! I will catch you! Okay? Believe in me, I will catch you!
Danny, it's you.
I will catch
you.
you.
Did the jump to me.
I will
I'll
catch you, Danny.
Yeah. And then this one, it's literally Jamie Lee Curtis. He's like,
Well-
jump and I'll catch you. Jamie Lee
Yeah, but he's-
Curtis. Do it.
Come on,
Do
Jamie.
it now. Yeah. So
I love to
it's-
see. Well, he actually does his daughter in the next scene when she's like on the crane. He's like, Dana, jump, Dana, we'll catch you. He actually literally says that.
Jump, Daddy will catch you!
jump
He goes, I will catch you,
under this
baby.
Harrier jet.
Oh yeah, I like thinking of that like in the other scene, like in other just every movie, like
Every Arnold.
Danny DeVito, I will catch you. I'm your twin. I'm your twin, Danny. I will catch you. just literally any Arnold movie. Predator, I will catch you, Predator.
Predator, jump down.
Come on, kill me. I will catch you.
John Connor.
Oh,
Jump
we're
and catch
getting
you.
way off track. But yeah, this is a
It's
real
worth
thing,
it.
by the way. This is literally, we've been talking about this for 25 years.
I love it.
I love
So-
one of my favorite like little moments of that whole scene, by the way, is like he's literally doing the thing, or like it's like probably like 4 minutes of just him going like and he's like, the bridge, Helen, the bridge is out. The bridge is out. And she can't hear him. And she turns and she goes, the bridge is out. And he gives this like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. It's like, it's such a great like husband-wife moment because like he's trying to save her life and she can't hear what he's saying. And then she's like, oh, the bridge is out. And he's like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you this whole time.
The
It's so
bridge
good.
is out.
Right. And that's what I mean. That's the
gotta
masterclass
love
of it. Like you, in that moment, you can have Harrier jets, explosions, pelicans, but then at the same time, you save a little moment like that for comedy, and it's subtle comedy too. It's not even like a moment. It is a little subtle joke that you don't see on every watch through.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
In kind of in keeping with that, sort of this subversion of expectations in this movie.
Mhm.
One of the scenes that I really enjoyed, and part of it just because I kept expecting one thing and another thing happened, is the bathroom fight scene with Arnold and those two guys who are
Yes.
coming in.
Yeah.
Because so he's fighting these guys and they're like shooting up the place and there's like all these sparks and electricity and water spraying everywhere. And I'm like, oh man, one of these guys is going to get electrocuted so good. And it never happens. I was waiting. That's like a solid
The whole time.
10-minute scene of the movie where these guys like brawling in the bathroom. There's this old guy sitting in his stall like, oh, and they're out there punching each other. There's water spraying on the bad guys. Like, oh, that's gonna come back. That's Chekhov's gun. Like
It
we've
is,
talked about before.
literally.
Sparks coming down, water spraying on the bad guy. You're like, oh, this guy's getting. You're gonna see his skeleton like 10 seconds from now. It doesn't happen. Nobody gets electrocuted in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't have set you up for the expectation of electrocution more than they did. And nothing. And I loved that, actually.
they always say, like, don't put phones in movies because it's the easiest way to date it. You know what I mean? So if you put a
Ah,
cell phones are the things that, one of the easiest things to be able to date a movie because when it comes
right,
out, it's the newest thing. But then like 4 years later, you're like, "Oh, that looks so old."
right. Yeah, everybody's on
Uh,
their BlackBerries,
in
like,
in in
okay.
my opinion of this, there was the newspaper in the bathroom. And I was like, "Oh, did people do that? That's disgusting." But I guess that's their version of like, flipping through on a phone. But I was like, "Dude, people just left newspapers in bathrooms and just
Yeah,
like, you're just gonna share a newspaper while you
yeah.
taking a crap."
You tango?
The Going back to the beginning scene, the tango that he's doing, and actually, when James Cameron finished the first draft of the script, and he sent it to Arnold, and he sent it with his notes. He actually circled that scene and wrote in, "This is your biggest stunt," because he wanted to make sure that Arnold was convincing. You know, he wanted this to be James Bond. I think this is James Cameron's version of Bond.
Hmm.
They actually even hired they hired the production designer of did 12 Bond movies. So he wanted it to feel like a spy movie. Um, and so he's got to be convincing, as Tango. Like to your point, he's like massive. For some reason, he's like an expert on like 6th century BC Persian art. He speaks
It's
like
my
all these
favorite
languages.
era.
Right.
Yeah,
But if he can't dance, then the whole illusion is broken. He's just
shattered.
got to be the ultimate competent man in that. And, Arnold is uber competitive. If you've ever read his autobiography, Total Recall, highly recommend it. It's fascinating. You kind of get into his psyche. The dude is just like ultimate competitive. And James Cameron uh, played him a little bit and actually said, "We're going to do a tango and we're going to do this song." And it's the same song that Al Pacino does the tango to in Scent of a Woman. And so Arnold's like, "Oh, well, I got to do better than Al Pacino." So, which I don't think Scent of the Woman's on the movie list, right?
Is it good?
So we're gonna see that eventually, but now you'll have that in mind. You'll be able to
All right,
compare
that's
who did
great.
it better, Arnold or Pacino. Spoiler: Pacino still won. Sorry, Arnie, love you, buddy, but Pacino won that one. But I just think it's such a cool scene. It sets the tone for the movie of it being funny. The whole scene he's hiding from the guards as they're running around and doing the dance at the same time. It's a fun scene. It's a fun intro to the movie.
And in that same sort of time frame in the movie, my weird sixth sense for actors and the other things that they're in.
Okay.
They're one of the people that Arnold randomly introduced, like, "Hey, Senator, nice to meet you. Mr. General of Iraq,
Right.
good to see you again." And everyone's like, "Who is that guy?" Um, one of those guys is an actor by the name of Marshall Minesh,
Okay.
who has been in over 100 feature length films. Like he's one of those guys like you don't notice he's in the things that you're
Who
watching.
is this guy? Who are you talking
So
about?
he's like a very much a like bypasser or passerby in this movie, but
Uh-huh.
the things that you probably know him from, what I know him from, and I'm embarrassed to say this, is the movie KAZAAM, which back when I was a '90s kid
Wait,
was like one
with
of the
Shaq?
with with Shaquille O'Neal. It's
'Cause
like one of
it's
the
me, KAZAAM.
yeah. I am KAZAAM, yeah. Um,
I got
it was
magic
one of the
powers.
one VHSs I had back in the '90s, so I've watched it 1,000 times. Um, so I recognize him so good from that because he was the villain in KAZAAM. There's this there's this there's one scene from KAZAAM that me and my brother, quote to each other, like, once a week and have done forever, which is, so KAZAAM is trying to pretend that he's not a genie
Yeah.
that's been trapped for 5,000 years in a boombox. And
You got to get through this, Matt. You got to get through it. We're taking half the podcast talking about freaking a boombox genie.
So he says he's eating he meets this guy in a limo, and he's like, all right, I have these Nubian goat eyes, and KAZAAM's character goes, Nubian goat eyes? I haven't had these in 5,000. And then he realizes he's about to give himself away as a genie, and he goes, days, and starts eating the goat eyes. Like that's sneaky. And me and my brother quote this
It's
to
like
each other.
12 years.
Yes. I haven't had Nubian goat eyes in 5,000 days. And he starts eating. It's such a it's such a beautifully terrible line of dialogue. That's besides the point. This guy's been in everything. He was in How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
He's obviously in this. This was actually
who
his
is he
very
in How I
first.
Met Your Mother?
He's the limo driver. He's always in limos or he's in Arnold movies. That's what you gotta know about this guy.
Hello,
but this was actually
that guy.
This was his debut. This was the first thing he was ever really in. Was this movie? So
Dang.
I know him from KAZAAM, but this was
Limo
his
driver.
debut. His True
Yeah.
Lies. So
Hello.
there you go. Hello. Yeah. Good actor. Fun thing. Speaking also of your Persian antiquities. First of all, if you ever meet somebody and they're interested in talking to you because you sell Persian antiquities, they are a spy.
Yeah.
Case closed. That's
Yeah.
obvious. Yes, I'm very interested in Persian antiquities. Oh, really? You're interested in the 600 BC period? It's my favorite period. We should
Yeah.
talk sometime. No one has ever said that.
Let's be honest. You're a spy or you look like Tia Carrere. Because if you look like Tia Carrere, everybody is interested in talking to you about anything that you want to talk about.
I don't know who that is. But
She's
before we
the
move on,
she's that lady that's the freaking the lady, the girl, Juno.
the actress that he's
the actress.
interested
Yeah,
in.
yeah, Tia Carrere.
The girlfriend from Wayne's World.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
See?
Yes.
All I
Yeah,
had to do is
then-
put it in the most bizarre possible framing, and then you would understand it.
My,
I was
my
like, yeah,
brain is
she
broken.
was Shaq's girlfriend in KAZAAM when he showed up in Space Jam.
Right, of course. Naturally.
That's where you know it from.
There's only one. There's one line in the movie that to me stands out like a sore thumb. It just doesn't feel like it fits. And that's when Arnold goes back to speak with her, like flies out to her office in Greece or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm looking for a piece to fit my office space. And they're walking down the hallway and goes, that's a nice piece.
Yes, they would like to see something very dramatic. That's a nice piece.
It just is so like it just doesn't.
I like the one they land on is like the size of a room. She's like,
It's the
this
size
is
of a
good
room,
one."
and it's like a jade head. It's like the size of several men. And he goes, "That's a nice piece." Like it just seems so out of place in that scene.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I don't care that it's there. I like that it's in the movie. I like that they include that stuff in these 90s films.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking for something for my office. That's a nice piece. So anyways, what's back here where the bombs are? I mean, nothing. Did I say something? Like, I love it. I love it. It's my favorite thing. This is one of my favorite movies.
He's like,
we've
hey,
watched
maybe
so far."
one of your terrorists could help me. I mean, workers. He's just accidentally the worst spy ever.
Nobody cares because he's so enormous and muscular. Like he's just
forget.
It's just slip of the tongue. Sometimes people say that.
Yeah.
This is the problem with terrorists. They're really inconsiderate when it comes to people's schedules.
Tom Arnold makes an appearance in it. Killed it, by the way. I thought Tom Arnold did great. In the role of Gib and an interesting kind of story about how he went in for the audition. He said he had like zero expectation of actually getting the job. He just went because he wanted to meet James Cameron. And they ended up loving the audition. So they brought him back, did screen tests with Arnold, and he just crushed it. He actually told James Cameron after, he's like, I thought Arnold was going to be bigger. I feel like I could take him. And James Cameron thought that was like hilarious. And so they gave him the job, but he was kind of undergoing like, a messy divorce with Roseanne Barr at the time. He was a writer on Roseanne. And so that was like a big thing. That was big tabloids, of the early 90s was Tom Arnold and Roseanne Barr's divorce. Was messy and open. And so Fox didn't want anything to do with that. And James Cameron fought for him to the level where he actually said that he would take the movie to another studio if they wouldn't let him cast Tom Arnold, which was bold for it. But Tom, he was perfect. He really was, was perfect. In fact, one of the lines in the movie when he's talking about, his second divorce, I think he's like, yeah, my second wife, she cleaned me out. She took everything. She even took the ice cube trays out of the freezer.
What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer?
Apparently, that is actually something that happened with Roseanne Barr. Like she just moved out and took everything, including the ice cube trays. Because Tom Arnold was just pulling on real life experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought he was perfect. I thought Bill Paxton, man. Bill Paxton is so good in this movie. I mean, he's good in everything. And him and James Cameron go way back. They had been friends since like the 70s. They were working on set together as like production assistants. So from the beginning, they were buddies and so it's cool. I always love seeing those stories of two guys kind of going together and almost, lifting each other up because he, I think had been in all of James Cameron's movies, or at least, he was in Terminator and he was in Abyss and he wasn't in Abyss. He did the Abyss documentary, but he was definitely in Aliens, obviously.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
So good. So good. He's Simon in this. He's like the sleazy car dealer / secret spy. He just does it so well, man. Like he actually said like a lot of the when he's driving in the car with Arnold trying to sell him, on the Corvette or whatever it was, he said a lot of the lines he stole from his dad. His dad was a door-to-door salesman. And so a lot of like the little lines he used were lines that, he felt like his dad would say, like little cheesy one-liners.
Right. It's a whole persona.
Yes. That is, you're talking about actually another weird one. If this shows us how different our upbringings were, you're quoting Shazam, which is probably a more child appropriate movie. Me and my brother were quoting this movie. And so we didn't want to get in trouble. So we did like the censored version, but we would just all the time we would recreate the scene where he goes,
ass like a 10-year-old boy.
which is so funny and so different from everything else in the movie. It just goes like in Arnold's head for a second where he just kills him. And then we're obviously talking about his wife, which is a very, very weird description for a woman.
Agreed.
But, just plays into the sleaziness of Simon and Bill Paxton's character.
And I'm imagining, Shaq going, "Don't you wish you had one of these?" And in his hand is an ice cream cone upside down because he's a genie from ancient times and doesn't know what an ice cream cone is. Junk food from here to the sky. He's like, "I'm KAZAAM." And like a hamburger falls.
Why are you doing Arnold?
I'm KAZAAM. Dude, it's deep inside me at this point.
It's like spreading. It's spreading like a disease.
KAZAAM. I don't know.
No, it's
me.
It's me. I'm KAZAAM. There you go.
That's a good point. Anyway,
but yeah, poor
once
Simon,
you start
man.
doing Arnold, it's hard to get out.
It is. It really is hard to stop.
I might need to Christopher Walken my way out. I couldn't help but notice that your dog doesn't have a tail. 2 mice fell.
That's really good.
Into a bucket of cream.
Your Chris Walken's gotten better, dude. You've been
I've been working on it.
That's
my
really
Chris
good.
Walken's pretty good. Wait till we do a Chris Walken movie. You guys, you're in for a real treat on that one.
Oh, But yeah, he's putting in the work. You got to give it to him.
Bill
He's
Paxton.
yeah, like not just the actor, the character. Like he's really wants to get with this Helen chick. Like the intro to him is he's like obviously he's like a spy, and he's like he does the whole briefcase number, and
Mhm.
he's like, "You got to hold this on to me. They're after me." And she opens it. It's got cash. It's got like fake passports. I was like, dude is putting some time in to really. I
Yeah.
mean, like he's trying to earn it. So I mean, like
this is not his first day.
that's right. Yeah. So he is really got this thing down to a science.
Mhm.
I think this whole thing goes into like they're gonna go to Paris. He brings Harry's wife in on it. She's his next victim that he's got his eyes set on. He just tries to find, I think, just bored housewives that that need some excitement. And he's gonna be the excitement, even though he's like a used car salesman. But he's created this persona that he's a secret agent. Which goes without saying. But still, I'm going to say because it's very funny just the fact that her actual husband is a secret agent, and then she just talks about how boring he is, and then she falls for this Simon guy because she needs that adventure.
Right. Let me just add, like, if you are a secret agent and you're trying to hide your identity, being like a software salesman has to
Mhm.
be the best possible cover. Like, yeah, so we just introduced the 685 and it curates
No
the
follow-up.
entire list of data for everybody. So instantaneously we know the preferred sales list. And like,
Zero
uh,
follow-up questions.
yep, that sounds really cool. I'm really interested in that. Thanks for telling me. Like, you're just dying to get away from it. Like, it's a perfect cover. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
Like, if you do the most boring thing,
Yep.
no one's gonna ask you follow-ups.
Right.
No offense to software developers. I love what you do out there.
Or secret agents
With secret agents,
with
no
that cover,
offense to you
with that
guys.
exact cover. You guys might need to
A
change it
secret
up a little
agent
bit.
with those covers. Good job, guys. You're doing it.
You're doing it. You're doing a good job.
You're doing it. You're doing a good job.
Yeah. Simon's he's taken her, with his car. Obviously the hilarious part is that Harry starts using the Omega, what is it, like the Omega Force, which is like the secret, government entity that's counterterrorism, and he's using it to try to track down his wife going on a date with this guy. And the helicopters following them.
Roger 1, this is Condor. Subject is in sight. Repeat, we have the ball. Oh yeah, she got her head in the guy's lap all right. Yahoo.
And which is, by the way, fun fact, that line, that's James Cameron saying that. She definitely
Really?
has her head in the guy's lap. Yeah, it was James Cameron in the helicopter, and he says that line. And then one of my favorite lines in the movie cuts to them and Tom Arnold. He goes,
Maybe she's sleepy.
just nails it in very,
Oh, it's
very
so good.
Tom Arnold way.
So good.
Yep.
So every movie has a moment that's gonna make you say, "Yeah, right." And this one has a lot of them, in the best way. I don't mind that it has them in there, but there's plenty of them in this movie. So I think probably where we start with these is gonna be Arnold and the terrorist guy go up this skyscraper to like one of the top floors. They're riding
Yep.
up these external elevators. The horse is whipping old ladies in the face with the tail.
Yeah, Arnold's on a
Fantastic.
horse, by the way, in an
Fan-
elevator.
Fantastic.
Let's set that
scene.
part up first.
There's a horse in an elevator. There's all
one of
you-
those
you-
one of those common situations.
One of those horse in an elevator scenarios as one encounters. The horse
All
is
the
whipping
time.
this old lady in the face,
Yeah.
and they get to the top floor. The motorcycle gets there just early enough that he's able to launch off the roof, go down at a 45-degree angle smoothly, no curve, 45-degree angle, perfect, into a swimming pool on a building adjacent.
Really
And
convenient.
then Arnold kind of yaws his horse.
He's gonna
And
do
it's
the
running
same.
towards the edge, and then it stops, and it flings him off the top, and he's hanging down. Back up, horse. So horses don't like to back up. One thing you should know about horses.
Obviously.
Not a fan. They can't see behind themselves, so they don't like doing it. He's like, what kind of cop are you? You horse, back up. You can't even jump across, 300 feet between buildings. What an outrageous thing to try to do. Jump a horse from skyscraper to skyscraper. The motorcycle wouldn't have worked, obviously. But when you watch that sequence, it's like it starts to go off the building, and then it's just straight line across. I loved it.
The horses, I struggle sometimes jumping over those little things in
3
between
feet hurdles.
Yeah, and he's just like, come on, jump. He wanted to do the Neo jump in the Matrix.
Yeah, bonkers, fantastic.
Yeah,
but definitely an right in this one. Like
yeah.
a motorcycle's not making the jump, and nobody's trying it on a horse.
Yeah.
Not even Arnold.
I love that. I love that when they were tracking Bill Paxton, Simon, talking to his wife. He's like, yeah, some stuff went downtown and he got away from me on the motorcycle, but I chased him down. He's basically like taking credit for everything that Harry did in that chase. And he was like, that was me.
Right, I think I was like, I respect him for it.
He's like, I kind of like this guy. He's kind of starting to like this guy. But yeah, I mean, obviously end up tracking him down there at the trailer. They take the wife, do the the whole little interview with her, and really he's just asking her just trying to do some weird marriage counseling while under intense pressure of being investigated by some sort of foreign government entity, or she's not even sure who they is. But dude, just stop for a second and just do a little Jamie Lee Curtis appreciation moment, because she was perfect for this. I think she was one in the casting stories where I don't think she was the obvious choice for this role. And I think somebody had sent a tape of A Fish Called Wanda to James Cameron. And he said he had planned on just like watching a few minutes of it. And he started it and he ended up just watching the whole thing. And he called Arnold and he's like, I'm going to come to your house. I just need you to trust me. And he went to his house and he put in the tape. And he says, do you trust me? He goes, I trust you. And he watched the movie and he looked at him after and he goes, it's Jamie. She's the one. And she absolutely was the one. I mean, she plays it perfectly in terms of that line from going to being like this like geeky, quiet housewife, like, just really nothing there. She's just boring, basically, just like him. She matches him in terms of their boring life. He's the software salesman. She's the wife of a software salesman, right? I think she's like a legal accountant, no adventure. I mean, to his credit, Simon kind of brings something out in her, brings out this excitement. And then Arnold's plan is to romance his wife again by interviewing like a French guy, or I mean, like recording a French guy that's going to use as his voice, and he's going to have her do this dance, right? And that's the big moment where he's like, I'm going to bring out the sexiness of my wife using this other guy's voice. And so, they do the famous scene that, she obviously killed. She falls, which was something that she planned with James Cameron's hilarious. You see Arnold's natural reaction of kind of sitting up and sitting back. Actually, in that dance, when he has like the tape recorder and he drops it and then has to go and pick it up real quick, kind of nervously, that was something that actually happened in it. And James Cameron was like, it's perfect. We have to like cut the whole scene around it. But I don't know. It was a hilarious and awesome scene, and she obviously crushed it. But kind of ends with him trying to romance her, and she ends up hitting him in the face with a clock or with a phone or something. You know what, guys? Just a little marriage advice for you. If you're really trying to romance your wife, maybe don't lie to her, kidnap her, force her to dance for what she believes is like a French criminal. Go in to kiss her, still believing it's the French criminal. Like, what was the outcome he was hoping for? And then you probably just don't lie to her for 15 years about having another job. I think that's just the takeaway we can get from it.
That's fair. Also, if you're a spy, why get married? I just wondered that. He was a spy for 2 years before they got married, according to the timeline presented in the movie.
I wondered that because he said 16 years, right?
He said 17.
Okay.
They've been married for 15. He said he's been a spy for 17, which
Dang.
means he was a spy for 2 years. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to settle down half of the time.
It does seem like very inefficient. Like half of Tom Arnold's job was just like getting him like, here's receipts, here's your other passport, here's your
snow
wedding ring.
globe and the
Did seem a little inefficient. And then randomly the terrorists show up at their hotel for some reason.
Yeah, why not?
At this point, she believes that she's the spy because she's still in the lie. She hasn't figured out. She doesn't know what's going on.
She is a spy at this point, technically speaking.
That's actually true. She works for the U.S. government.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me handle this, Harry.
I honestly skipped most of that scene because I was watching this with my wife and a friend from church. And so when someone starts stripping, you're like, hey, we should probably skip this. Everybody's just going to skip this. So that my buddy from church and my wife don't have to watch this
together
with me together. We're not doing that.
That's a strange one.
We did skip it. I watched up to the point where he's like, all right, dance. She's like, and
it's so good, dude. That's so good.
And then he's like, take off your nylon. She's like, I don't have any. He's like, okay, that's good.
Well, I love that because like he pre-recorded it and he said take off the nylons and then he says no, dance slowly, dance sexy, which means he knew that she was not going to dance.
Right, exactly.
that was not something like he knows his wife at least, to that level.
That's funny. That is funny.
But yeah, obviously the terrorists come kidnap them from that hotel room, take them, it's typical bad guy stuff. Like why would you take the guy to maybe that's my mini, oh yeah, right. Like, why would you, this guy is like an international spy. Why are you bringing him to your base with the nukes so that you can give your speech in front of him?
Right.
Just typical.
Yeah. You know that guy who like decimated your forces earlier?
Yep.
Just bring him in there.
Yep.
And then give him sodium amytal. And then make him say that you've got a bomb when he's clearly drugged.
Sodium amytal. See, it's the whole Shutter Island connect.
Right.
Maybe they were on Shutter Island.
It's the second time it's come up. What if
That's what it is?
What if he is?
He's Teddy.
He's Teddy, dude.
They're trying to Teddy him.
Theory.
That's why they're bringing him. They're trying to make him. They're trying to convert him to terrorism.
Yeah. One fun tidbit about sodium amytal. The half-life on that is 8 to 42 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Which means when he's like drugged and she's like, hey, are you okay? Is it all right? Are you doing it? He's like, they gave me drugs and I can't lie anymore. Like, he stayed that way for at least
for the rest of the movie. Literally for the rest of the movie.
As he's like leaving and like all these guys come and start shooting at him, he's tripping balls on sodium amytal.
He also like drove a Harrier jet later and he's definitely still high.
Clearly within the 42-hour time limit.
I'll catch you. He's like just in the woods sitting he's just imagining all of that. Like
he's
none
just
of that
sitting
happened.
on a pile of dirt in the middle of nowhere. I'm driving a Harrier. What if that's how it ended? It'd be a real mind bender. I would say toward the end when he is on that Harrier and he's driving under Dana, there's a moment where Dana jumps onto his jet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the terrorist guy, right? So the key and the jet are together now.
Right.
So what hope does he have of getting the key and getting off of the Harrier? Right?
He's just going to take him off. He's going to pull him off.
He doesn't know how to drive a Marine Harrier. But he jumps onto it anyway. With a machine gun. Now imagine, you've got your machine gun, and there's a guy flying the plane who knows how to fly the plane. And you're like, I'm going to shoot that guy. And then what?
I'm going to hang on. I'm just going to hang on.
Hold on.
It's like the people who jump on cars, but this was on a jet. And he's just like, all right, it's fine. I'm just going to go freaking Mach 2 with this guy hanging on the wing.
And this is the perfect time to bring this up. This movie has some great one-liners, including when the guy's in the urinal and he says, cool off, buddy. And then at the end when the lead terrorist lands and the thing's got him on the missile.
You're fired.
And this is
It's so
before
good.
the Donald Trump "you're fired." We're talking 1994.
Now we
So
know
this
where
is
he
not
got it
"you're
from.
fired." This is "you're fired." And
That's
he
where
shoots him
Trump got it
through
from.
a skyscraper into a helicopter. And that's 1994.
It is.
Boom.
I think that's where Trump got it.
Beautiful.
Trump saw that movie and he's like, I'm gonna make a TV show.
I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be big. I said it first. Yeah.
That's right. That's why he
I
hates
saw these
Arnold.
big, beautiful missiles. And I said, wow, those are big.
Why is he Seinfeld? Why is Trump Jerry Seinfeld?
I said, wow, those are big. They're big missiles.
Oh man. Speaking of the missiles, by the way, or the nukes, like I think if I was to have my oh yeah right moment, it's just in general how they handle the nukes. Like first, like they're like, all right, let's bring this spy, like you said, right? And then they're like, we're gonna record our like hype video, right? Which is one of my favorite scenes. The guy like runs out of batteries. So this is not a well-run terrorist organization. I mean, as terrorist organization goes, this one's pretty low class, right? And then they're just shooting like just rifles up in the air around the nuclear weapon, right? And then yeah, they cover it in concrete, which is whatever. I don't know the science of nukes, but then there's so many explosions after that. Right? Like my favorite one specifically is Arnold takes the gas truck and turns it into just a fire gun. And then the freaking main terrorist guy shoots an RPG at him, hits the fire. Like the nuke is like 50 feet from there at that point. He shoots an RPG at a gas truck, which explodes. He thinks Arnold's done. And then we just did Napoleon Dynamite last week. He makes Kip. Like after Kip got the bowling and he got a strike, he goes, yes. Just from actually shoot. That's the terrorist. That's the international terrorist. And then my personal favorite moment of him being a terrible terrorist is when he's like shooting the news reports. He goes, and that's where I will fire the missile with that key. And they're like, what key?
One turn of that key.
What key?
That key! Who's taking the key?
And he's like, where's the key? And then he freaking lost the key. And then the teenage girl just run off with it. I was like, dude, you need to be a better terrorist. You're a terrible terrorist.
That. Right. My
Yeah.
favorite part with him as a terrible terrorist was when they were flying off with the nuke in the helicopter and he's straddling the nuke, right? He's sitting on it. And do you know what that nuke is filled with? Weapons grade uranium with a plutonium trigger. Like, it's probably got lead around it or something, but
Nah, not
you,
good.
I'm not straddling a uranium bomb.
I don't think he went to med school though,
You know,
Matt. So
he may not have.
Arnold, when they're in the helicopter and Arnold calls the president. This may be only funny to me, but Arnold calls the president. He goes, "Bright boy alert! Bright boy alert!"
Bitch, this is a bright boy alert. I repeat, a bright boy alert.
It was so difficult for I don't know who wrote that line for him, but they should have reworked it because he could not say. He goes, "Bright boy alert! Bright boy alert!" Very funny. Very funny. I'm telling you, go back and watch it. Bright boy alert.
Bright boy alert.
He couldn't say it.
Alert. I love it.
Oh man. So what about you?
Yeah.
Any other oh yeah right moments?
I
we missed?
just think it's funny that like a nuke goes off on American soil and they're like, we're safe here. We win. Like,
oh yeah,
a nuke went off in America. And they're like, we
people
did
live
it
there. Like it was like in the Florida Keys. Like people live there. Like
that's
I've been there. Like Key West Marathon. It's a beautiful area.
We evacuated it and stuff.
And he's just like hugging. He's just kissing her, and it's just
right. Like don't look at the explosion. And they're like, this will be enough. This is fine. It's only a nuke over there. Yeah.
Friggin' radiation wind is just going through, just burning their face off. And she looks at him and she goes, go. And he's like, yes. He's like, no.
Go to work.
Okay. Bye.
Yes.
Another Kip moment.
Oh, man. Very
What's
funny.
It's just such a fun movie. I loved it. Yes, it got its flaws, but because of the era it's in, you just don't care.
Yep.
It's so watchable. It's just freaking fun, start to finish.
Yep.
Its quirks are part of what makes it so good. Excellent recommendation. I'm glad it's on the list.
All right. So every week we go over what we thought about it. And obviously we love this movie. We got to do some numerical values. So we're going to give it a rating on story, rewatchability, emotional impact. And I'm going to do the filmmaking craft. Matt's going to do the science realism. I'll kick us off. At story, I have a 5. It's actually not a bad story. And like I mentioned, because it jumps around a little bit. But I think just the comedy mixed with the situational comedy of it is very fun. Of it being, an actual action movie that you can kind of follow, and then you throw the kind of the rom-com of the marriage in there. Really fun. I got a 5 on that. Rewatchability, it's a 10. This was a blast, man. I loved this one. Being able to watch it a bunch of times this week and just go through it. It's just so much fun every time I watch it, and I was glad to come back to this one. Emotional impact is 1. I wasn't moved emotionally at all. If I am going to add some critique to it, I think the Dana, the daughter, is not a redeemable character. She steals from Tom Arnold at the beginning, and then we don't address that at all. And then at the end, she's like, "Help, Dad." I know it's bad. She's like the daughter, but there's not really a moment where I really feel a lot of emotion towards any of the characters in this. And the filmmaking craft, I would have at an 8. There's some 90s stuff in there that's a little bit noticeable. Like we talk about some of the stunt work or, that sort of stuff. But in terms of the mix of the visual effects, the practical effects, the superstar cast, and James Cameron just doing his thing, I got to give it an 8. Matt, what do you think?
All right. So for me, story is going to be a 3. It's engaging enough. It's not, it's not the Odyssey. It's not. Granted, there's a lot of Deus Ex Machina.
It's not KAZAAM
plays. It's not KAZAAM level storytelling here.
Right.
No, I think a 3 on story. Just it's not wowing me.
Yep.
On the story side, rewatchability, I'm giving it a 9. Absolute freaking banger as far as I've watched it twice in a week, and I'm like, I should probably watch it one more time this week.
Yeah.
It's that good. Emotional impact, a 3. Just because I think Jamie Lee Curtis's character's story arc, I think it's satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3. She kind of comes full circle. She wants to feel alive again, and then she kind of tries to give in to the worst version of that, and then ends up finding it in what she already had. I like that. I think that's a satisfying story. Science realism, I'm giving it a 4. Scratch that, a 3.
Okay.
If you're tripping balls on sodium amytal, you're not willpowering your way out of that and fighting your way out of a terrorist cell. You're pretty much doomed. So not high on also straddling nukes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But fun. It's fun. If there was a score for fun, 11 out of 10. This was a really, really fun
That's
one.
a good point. Maybe we should add that category. So, I killed a lot, but they were all bad.
But they were all bad.
All right. Well, this one's not all bad. It was actually a lot of good. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was a really fun one. Like always, please, if you enjoyed this, do us a favor and like, subscribe, and more importantly, talk to somebody about this. Maybe hit that little share button for efficiency, but your words mean more to us than you could ever imagine. And we're moving our way down the list. So we had a little bit too much fun with this one. So we're going to hone it in a little bit, kind of get a little bit, from the warm beaches of Miami, maybe a little too warm with the nuke going off. And we're going to get icy cold. And so we're going to go Snowpiercer. Moving
Nice.
to Snowpiercer. Matt, do you know anything about it?
Train,
Yes.
snow,
Yes.
Captain America.
Yeah, close enough.
That's what I know about it.
Okay. All right. That's pretty much Captain America is in it. Not the actor, but actual Captain America. It's a Marvel movie. But yeah. So guys, you have 1 week from now to watch Snowpiercer, to let that pierce your eyeballs and your brain and also your ear holes. And come back next week, join in with us as we talk through it. And Matt, I just want you to know, if you're ever hanging on somewhere, I will catch you. I will catch you, Matt. Jump.
I love it.
All right. See you next week, guys.
See ya.